Hi, this is Dave from Yak Jack or Hellsoft, wherever you're from. Uh, Anyways, I thought I'd do a quick recording of how I cut abs. As you can see, I've got quite a few cuts here. I've been just cutting off and on for the last hour or so, and it's yeah. So I thought I'd just make a quick tutorial on how I do my cuts. I know some people have asked me how I do my cuts in the past. So I'm going to open up a new file from scratch. So I go up here to do new, and I change my sizes to the size of the ab that I'm going to cut. So I do talls, which is 130 by 150. Start a new file, and if you want to get fancy, you can do the ultras as well, 150 by 150. Hit OK. So now you got your two new files here. And basically all I do is, I happen to have already Googled, so I had some stuff to cut quickly. Basically in Pinterest, which started out in Google. It started out, I searched for biker man, anyways, I ended up in Pinterest. But basically all I do is go to the picture I want to cut, I right click my mouse button, and you come down to this copy image, and you copy your image. So now it's in your clipboard. You go back to Photoshop, and I go Control V, and that pastes it. And then I can Control T, and that's the actual size of what the image is right now. And I hold my Shift key and hold on to these little anchor points, and that brings it down so it's in proportion. If you do not hold your Shift key, you'll get some weird deformations and make it like thinner or fatter or whatever. So always hold your Shift key, and I just sort of move it around till I kind of like what it looks like in the actual av section. Sometimes you look at the actual pictures to see what's important, like is it that important to get all that of his hand in there? Not really. That sort of has the same effect. But anyways, so you just sort of crop it to the way you like it, and double click it to set it. And what happens when you're doing, like, I'll bring this up a little, what happens when you do like a large image and you bring it down to a very smaller size, which 130 pixels or 150 pixels is not very big at all. So what tends to happen is it kind of blurs the images. So what I tend to do is I like to hit it with a Sharpen Filter, and I usually use my Topaz Labs. It's called In Focus, and I use the smallest one. So it's just a very small sharpening on it. Like, it's not ridiculous. Like, that's too much. All right, it's a very small one. And I hit OK. And as you can see, there's the before, a little bit blurred, and there's the after, a little bit sharper. And that's basically all I do for my my cutting. Sometimes I go here and go image and go auto color and see if that changes it. It didn't seem to do too much in this case. The auto color seems to work a lot more on the images that are actually colored. And I'll probably cut a few of them by the end of this. So that's basically all I do for my cutting. I would just go to File and Save As now. And I save it as a GIF, of course, and you can see all of my ridiculous amount of cuts I have for males. And you just go to the last one, and I just increase the number by 1, so it's 101. Hit Save, OK, OK, and OK. And that's basically it. And now, because you still have that image saved in your clipboard, you can go to your Ultra and Control V to paste it, Control T to get your little whatever control points. Hold down your Shift key, and then compose it into the corner that you want. A little bit smaller. Something like that. Double click to set it. Control F to hit it with the filter. Control F does like the last filter that you applied, it will reapply it. So that sharpened it. You can see this is the before sharpen, after sharpen. And then I'll also try the auto color just because it's habit, but as we know, it didn't really do too much. And then you'd go through and you'd save that your ultra as well, which I don't really do ultras, I just do the 150. So that's pretty much all I do for eighth cutting. So let's do a few more. Let's try this guy. This guy looks alright. Copy image, bring it to Photoshop, Control V, paste it, Control T, hold down your Shift key. Start moving around. Do I want more of his hand in it? Yeah, I like the hand in more. Set it. Control F to hit your sharpen. And you can see in this particular one how that's before the sharpen, after the sharpen. You can see how the hard lines came around, like his lips and that. So what I could do is just sharpen. You go to edit. Let's do this again. You go to edit and fade topaz, which is the last filter, and you can try to like just bring down the strength a little bit so it's not quite as strong. And then I'd hit it with my auto color, see if that did anything. Not much. And then just save again. File, save as. GIF, of course. Hit save, and this image comes out. Flatten layers, yes. And I forgot to say that on the other one. You'll want your palette to be selective. Like it can be adaptive, and that will really reduce the amount of colors and make it really bad. Selective does a better job. So you usually always want it on local selective. And like web is just like web colors. It makes like your color ones look really horrible. But anyways, just keep it on local selective. That is by far the best one for cutting. And then of course you don't want interlace. You just do normal. You go okay. And that's basically all I do. I go File, Save As. Oh, we just saved that one. So we go to the next image that maybe we want. Let's do a color one. See if do this one maybe. Copy. Back to Photoshop. Control V. Control T. Shrink it down till however you like. Maybe something like that. Set it. Control F to apply the filter. Sharpen. Image auto color. You can see how that did make a difference, but I kind of like the before better, but I still find it I find the skin tone really yellow. So what I will sometimes do is I do a quick, color correction. And see, this is the yellow here, so you want opposite yellow because the skin looks really yellow. And the opposite yellow is this way. Maybe the highlights a bit. Yeah, that's better. Midtones. Now he's looking a little red, so you can bring the midtones up this way a bit. And yeah, that's the before. This is the after. Just a quick, color correction to make it a little bit sharper. And when you're doing color correction, you're not really destroying pixels like you do, like sharpening actually does destroy some pixels, or when you're softening or smudging or something like that, you're actually destroying the quality of the image. But a little bit of sharpening, like I said, isn't bad because you're taking the image down so small, and you just start to lose details because it's actually blurring it. So doing a sharpening isn't too bad, but just do it very lightly. And color changing doesn't really destroy pixels. It's just changing like the hue, so it doesn't really destroy the quality of the image. So don't be afraid to do a little color correction. Anyways, so we just go to here, save as. Your GIF, go down the bottom. This guy here, this is the last one I picked. Ooh, I had it untitled. So I guess this guy is going to be number 2 now instead of untitled. And then save. Okay, 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 and just continue on. So maybe this one here. We're back to Photoshop. Control Paste. Control T. Bring it down, compose it, something like that. set it, hit it with your filter, see what auto color does. If it does anything, it does do a little bit there, kind of brighten it up. So I can use my Control Z just to flip back and forth to see if I like it better. I like it better that way. File, save as, GIF, come to the bottom here. So this is number 3. Save, OK, make sure it's selective. OK, OK. Go on to your next one. I don't know. Who do we want to pick this time? Maybe this guy. Save image. Photoshop. Control V, Control T. Bring it down. Center it the way you want. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Set it. Control F. That's a little bit too strong. Edit. Topaz Labs. Maybe take down the strength of the sharpen down a little bit. Something like that. Image auto color. Did it change it? Yeah. Which is definitely better. That's the before. That's the after. So I like it like that better. File. Save as. GIF. Down to the bottom. Number 504. Save it. Okay. Okay. And if you're doing alters, you just go to your alter one, paste it, and do it all over again in alter form. I just don't usually cut alters. So that was too strong. And then hit it with your auto color, and there you go. That's ready for saving. You just file, save, and whatever for your alters. But like I said, I don't really save or cut for alters, so I'm just showing that in the video. And that's basically all there is to cut. It's like very fast. You can spend all day just sitting here looking at images trying to cut this. I like this dude here. Copy image. This is going to be the last one for the video, but as you can see, it's very fast, very quick, and you have a lot of flexibility in how you're composing your photos in your little frame there. Just make sure to sharpen it, because it does tend to get blurry, and maybe the auto color helps a lot. Didn't really help in this one. And this one I find a little bit dark, so here's another one I sometimes do, is I go to image, adjustments, and go down to the shadows and highlights. And as you see how all the dark colors, I used to just use this first slider because it was coming in like that, and I just lighten his face up a little bit because it's just too dark and contrasted there. And this is how have you ever seen paintings and they're kind of muddy? That's because they're starting off with an image that is too dark, and this one, as it is too dark. It will be very muddy colors when you start to color it. So you just use this filter. It's not even a filter. Shadows, highlights. It's in your adjustments, and I know it's in PSP as well. So you can all do this. And sometimes you just have to lighten the image up, just so it paints better. And then file, save as, GIF, and the usual routine. 5, save, OK. Selective, make sure it's always selective, local selective. OK, OK. And that's about it for cutting knives. That's all it really takes. You can sit here and go through them very, very quickly and pile up a lot of cuts very, very fast doing this. But anyways, that's it for this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.